Jesus has come to give us life. Death has come because of the envy of devil. 13th Sunday in ordinary time. The word says, God did not make death, nor does he rejoice in the destruction of the living. Death comes because of the envy of the devil. So it's a continuous fight between devil, evil and good. St. Mark begins the gospel in Mark 1 chapter 24 by an exorcism. When Jesus was rebuking the Satan, demon. He's saying, the demon is asking, what do you want from with us? And he says, be silent. And he rebuked the devil by saying, be silent and come out. So last Sunday we found how he rebuked the storm, isn't it? Storm, be silent. My dear friends, because all the forces which are against man, Jesus is standing as a warrior against them all. Today, it's not demon directly, no natural forces, but sickness and disease. How he come into our lives through our failure, through our weakness. It's beautiful. We find two characters in the gospel. And there we find this person called Jairus. He's an official of the synagogue, chief person, main person, prominent, important person. And he was put to zero when his little girl has a deadly disease. And he kneels before Jesus. He kneels there. My dear friends, it's a beautiful invitation to love our hero. It was important. But then he knelt before Jesus because he could not do anything else. He is completely helpless. He's important, though helpless. And then he says, my little daughter is at the point of death. Come and lay your hand on her so that she may get well and live. Because Jesus is a life giver, isn't it? So he's asking to come and touch the child. We need this touch in our lives. Sometimes we are so done, we are so stuck. Only he can touch us and save us. But then the journey, his ways are different. He starts the journey. If you can remember the centurion, Roman centurion, then he said, Lord, you don't have to come to my place. Say a word. Say a word. And my soul, my servant shall be healed. So Jesus did not go there. But then here, Jesus is going there, my dear friends. Jesus is going there to touch the child. But on the way, what happens? Jesus went with him and many people followed, passing him around him. This is the contrast. Many people were following him, pressing him. And many people were following, even in the beginning we found large crowd gathered around him. Only Jairus knelt before him because he's broken. In Psalm 51, verse 16, 17, it is said, he will love the broken heart. The most soothing offertory is the broken heart. In Psalm 34, verse 18, it is said, he will never despise the broken heart. That brokenness is a place of encounter, isn't it? So, lot of people, crowd, they were following him. Okay, fine. Only one knelt before him because he's broken. Because the child is sick. And my dear friends, the child, Jairus' daughter is 12. She's suffering with this sickness when she's at the age of 12. At age 12 is important in their culture because they can give a girl in marriage when she is 12. It's important. So Jairus, as a father, sees the child and she's growing up and she's 12 means she's in the peak of that experience. All of a sudden this sickness strikes and she's sick and she's at the verge of death and he's put to zero. So in the crowd, Jesus went with him and many people followed, pressing around him. This is important. Many followed him, pressing around him. But then there is this particular woman in the crowd. Among the crowd was a woman who had suffered from bleeding for 12 years. So the day Jairus had the child, the year is the particular year this woman had this sickness. So Jairus was put to zero when he was in the peak, and this woman gradually went to that zero, tried all the possibilities. The word says she had suffered a lot at the hands of many doctors and had spent everything she had, but instead of getting better, she was worse. And that's how she was put to zero. My dear friends, a lot of people follow him, a lot of people know about Jesus, come for mass and everything, but then if you're broken and put to zero, you know only Jesus, there's no other answer. That's important to love a zero. So she touches Jesus. How she got the faith? Because she had heard about Jesus. In Romans chapter 10 verse 17 it is said, faith comes by hearing. And she heard about him and believed him. And what happened? She knew, if I touch the garment of the Lord, hem of the Lord's garment, I'll be healed. And she touched and she was healed. That's the miracle. But then our life should go beyond miracle. She secretly went away without meeting the Lord, got the miracle, had the miracle, and yet went away. But Jesus knew. Jesus felt the power passing from him. So Jesus had paid the price for that power, isn't it? For the healing, for your redemption. He had paid a price. He felt the power. Of course, it is freely given. Yet, he had to pay a price, isn't it? And Jesus looked around and who touched me? And disciples were laughing. A lot of people are pressing you and you're asking who touched my clothes. Jesus had that attention to detail. He's interested not about the crowd, the numbers, the person who has a broken hair and who touches him. And Jesus wants to touch another broken man's life. That's why he's going. And what happened, my dear friends? And she knew what happened. She was scared. She coming trembling out of fear. She knelt before him and told him the whole truth. This is important. You experience the miracle, but then the moment you tell the whole truth, only then Jesus said, your faith has healed you. Go in peace. That complete understanding. He calls her daughter. Daughter, you are healed. Daughter is a relative term, isn't it? It speaks about a relationship. By the time Jairus' daughter is dead, the people say, why trouble the master? Our problem is never a trouble to God. Remember, Jesus never gave up any consideration about that. He went there, people are mourning, shouting, crying. He put everyone out because they said, they laughed at Jesus. Why? He said, she's not dead, she's sleeping. Your problem, huge like a death, for him, it's just like just a sleep, my dear friends. So he just have to command it. He touched a child and said, Talitha kumi, child, little girl, get up. And she got up. That's where he touches you. So he's the life giver. When you are done, when you are in zero, gather all your strength to touch him like that woman. And if you can't, remember, He is the Lord who can touch you. Have power in that word. Amen. May God bless you.